How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Crysis 3 on the PC, so enjoy that. And today's commentary topic is whether Crysis 3 is pretty much the Call of Duty killer that some people have been saying it is. So anyway, let's get into it. So before I get into the commentary, I'm just going to say that this game isn't really like Call of Duty at all. With Call of Duty, I found you could just jump in a game and start killing people easily, even if you've never played the game. However, with Crysis, it took me a couple of levels to pretty much stop dying and start getting kills. Now, to get straight to the topic, I've seen many commentators and just all these videos basically saying Crysis 3 being the Cod Killer, and this was back in the beta as well, and to me, it's not really. I mean, it's a good game, but the thing with Call of Duty is it's slowly killing itself. So, and people have been saying this about games from like ages ago. They said, look, Crysis 2 was going to be the Call of Duty killer. They said Battlefield 3 was going to be the Call of Duty killer. But nothing has killed Call of Duty yet. But the only thing, like I said before, that I think will kill Call of Duty eventually will just be itself. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're releasing games every year, eventually people are going to get bored of it. I mean, we're up to Call of Duty 9 at the moment. So the amount that they've been releasing is just way too extreme. And I'm going to refer back to Guitar Hero, because this happened with them too. They got to the point where they were releasing pretty much 2 Guitar Heroes a year, and it just got too much for people, and especially with the amount of differences that were being changed in Guitar Hero, it seemed kind of pointless to people to keep buying the same game when it was basically just the skins and songs that were different. So this is what I'm seeing in Call of Duty. Like, each new Call of Duty that you get is kind of good and nice, but it just doesn't really feel different enough. So if they get to the point that they're going to be pumping these games out twice a year, I think that's where you're going to see that Call of Duty is going to start to die, because even at the moment, after a year of playing Call of Duty or whatever, when the new one comes out, I can still only play Call of Duty for a month or two, and then I'm starting to get annoyed with it or bored with it because I have been playing it for years beforehand. So I'm not saying I'm hating on Call of Duty or anything like that. I actually do enjoy the game. It's just one of those things that there's too many of them. They really need to cut back, and I think they may eventually do that, because the only thing that's really going to stop Activision from keeping making Call of Duties every year is if when Modern Warfare 4 comes out, which pretty much that's what we know it's going to be, because it's going to be a new Call of Duty, and it's not going to be Black Ops 3 or anything like that. It may be a completely new series, but for the most part, we know it's going to be Modern Warfare 4. Now, the thing with Call of Duty is, last Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, everyone sort of hated, and me personally, that was the only COD since COD 4 I didn't get on launch, because I just heard bad things about it, and when I eventually did get it, I didn't like it at all. It didn't work, the maps weren't done really well, the guns were kind of annoying, and it just sort of pissed me off. So, I just don't understand why they're thinking of making a new Call of Duty when they could probably just move that team over into what is making Black Ops and just make one of those every 2 years. The only problem with this is if they did this, they wouldn't be getting anywhere near as much money as they are at the moment when they release a Call of Duty every year. So I think it'll be very interesting to see at the end of this year when they release the new Call of Duty, if it doesn't break the record that Black Ops 2 set, they may then decide that they don't want to keep releasing Call of Duty. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but if the next Call of Duty is Modern Warfare 4, I'm not really sure if I'll get it on release or if I'll get it at all. I may want to steer clear of that and just look at some other games. I think that if Activision wants to keep milking Call of Duty and getting money from it, they're going to need to stop this one every year thing and get a new shooter to launch every second year that's not a Call of Duty year. It will be very similar to what EA is doing currently, how they release a Battlefield and then they release like a Medal of Honor or something along those lines, and I think that's a really good idea and it works kind of well. However, I suppose people could refer to Bad Company series as still being Battlefield, because it is. However, I personally prefer the Bad Company series compared to Battlefield 3. It's just, Bad Company to me felt a lot nicer, and it felt more destructible. I could actually destroy the whole map, and I really like that. Also, EA has Crysis, so they've got more than, just one good shooter, Battlefield, and they can chuck these in and out as often as they want, and basically they don't just cluster up the year. For example, I mean, at the point that we are now, if they were following what Activision does with their Call of Duty series, we would have been spending the last 4 months playing Battlefield 4 and probably getting a bit bored with it by now, and be basically looking forward to Battlefield 5 that would be releasing at the end of this year. So anyway, to sum up this commentary, I don't think there will ever be a game that's released that'll be this massive Call of Duty killer and will just steal all the people who do play Call of Duty. I think just eventually Call of Duty will end up killing itself unless they decide to hold back and start making less games and better games. And also, I'm having a lot of fun with Crysis 3 and I'll probably be playing that for quite a bit, so you may see some more gameplays of this on my channel. And also, I've been starting to play a bit of PlanetSide 2, so you may see some of that gameplays coming up in the future. Anyway guys, this brings me to the end of my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments, put them down below, and if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.